Three brothers, a folktale from Greece. Three brothers going down the road, leaving their village, looking for work, walking and walking and walking. It's lunchtime now, they need to sit down and eat a little bit, break bread. Someone's coming down the road, an old woman with a walking stick. "Excuse me, could you break a little bread for me?" The oldest brother keeps eating. "Excuse me, could you break a little bread for me?" The middle brother keeps eating. "Excuse me, could you break a little bread for me?" The youngest brother looks up. "Sure, if you're hungry, I can break some bread. Here you go." And she ate. And she sat. And after a little while, she spoke to the oldest. She said, "Excuse me, I was wondering, if you had a wish, any wish, what would you wish for?" And he said, "What? If you had a wish, any wish, what would you wish for?" And he said, "Well, I don't know. I guess some work or some, I know. See those crows up in the tree up there? I would wish that they turned into sheep up in the fields, and I would become a shepherd and take care of those sheep. That would make me happy." And she said, "Well, if that wish came true and you had those sheep, if someone came by who didn't have enough to pay you for some wool, would you still share with someone who needed more?" And he said, "If I had those sheep, definitely, of course I would. Anybody that needed it, I would sell to people who had the money, and if somebody needed it, of course I would, certainly." And she said, "That's good to hear." And she tapped her walking stick on the ground 3 times, thump, 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 and suddenly the sound changed from caw, caw, caw to meh. And the brother, the oldest brother, looked at the old woman and he said, "Wow, thank you." And she said, "Don't forget about others. Don't worry. Thank you. Take care." And so the other brothers walked on with the old woman. They walked together. And after a while, she looked at the middle brother and she said, "What would you wish for if you could wish for anything at all?" And he said, "I don't know. What do you think?" And he said, "Well, see all those bushes up there on the hills? They're all I would wish they were olive trees. That's what I would wish. I would work them, olives and olive oil. And tell me, if that came true, would you share with those who had less?" And he said, "Of course I would. If that was my olive garden, yes, of course. I would take care of anyone who needed help." And she said, "Very well." And she tapped her stick 1, 2, 3 times. And what happened? You're right. There were olives. And the second brother said, "Thank you, thank you." She said, "Don't forget. Don't worry. Anyone who needs olives will get them from me. Don't worry." And she walked on with the youngest. And they walked for quite a while. And she said, well, your turn. What would you wish for? And he said, I don't know. Well, what do you think? And he said, see the spring there? I would wish that it was flowing with honey. And then I would have a little honey shop. I love honey. And I would sell honey. Well, you would sell honey. What if someone were hungry, who didn't have any money? What would you do then? Well, just like you, I gave you bread. I would give them honey, of course. Anybody would do that. And she said, I like to hear that. And she tapped her walking stick 1, 2, 3 times. And you know what happened? Honey flowing out of the rock. And he did exactly that. He set up a little honey shop. And he sold honey. It was delicious honey. And people came from miles around to buy his honey. But some people came who didn't have any money. And they said, could I have a little honey? I don't have any money. And he said, of course, of course. And the time went by and the time went by, and one day he heard a familiar sound, a stick hitting the ground. It was the old woman. Aren't you the one? And she said, yes, I am. Would you like some honey? Sure. She tasted the honey. She said, oh, yum. How have you been? He said, oh, wonderful. And what have you done? Well, just what I said I would do. I have a honey shop. And she said, and if someone doesn't have money? Oh, I don't worry about that. And what about your brothers? Well, I've been so busy here. Oh, I mean, I didn't exactly forget about them, but I haven't had time. Would you like to go see? Sure, it would be great to see my brothers again. Oh, the olives? Yeah, and the sheep? I bet they're doing wonderfully. That's great. Yes, let's travel together. Let's walk that walk again. And so they walked together. They walked and walked. And they stopped and, wait, I think it was here, said the youngest. I think it was here, but there are no olive trees here. It's just old scraggly bushes again. And where's my brother, I wonder? That's strange. Well, let's go see the sheep. So they walked together and walked together and walked together. And they got to the place where, caw, caw, caw. There are crows up in the tree, but no sheep in the field. No sheep in the field. Wonder what happened. Oh, scraggly bushes again and crows up in the tree again. And what did my brothers do? And she said, I think you know. It's not what they did. It's what they didn't do. And she tapped her cane 3 times and disappeared. And that's the story.